this time the chairman of the full committee, who has been working on this issue for years and has been working particularly in the state of Michigan on this issue. I'd like to recognize the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, the gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Conyers.
Thank you very much, Chairman Bobby Scott. This is a wonderful way for us to take another look at the committee that you chaired so ably and worked on ever since you come to Congress, the Subcommittee on Crime. A subcommittee that deals with one of the still stickiest problems in our democracy. And the hearings that we've had, I only wish you could see how they relate to all of us coming together in this unusual setting of a forum as opposed to the regular hearing process. We have 9 really talented people that I want to hear from and maybe ask them some questions too. And then we have our 2 moderators. One is worked in the committee and with us for so long, Virginia Sloan, and the other moderator, Melanka Clark, is a counsel at the Brennan Center for Justice. And then we have all of you whose own interests and experience are an important part of this record. We think this is a very important and a good way to proceed. How do you treat the accused? And how brilliant was it of our founding fathers to put into the Constitution itself the following sentence: in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. How prescient, how wise for founding fathers to write this into the original constitutional document itself. Now, like all ancient dictums about democracy, we have a lot of trouble making it happen the way they wanted to say it should happen. And what makes me feel so good about the Judiciary Committee and the Crime Subcommittee is that although this is happening perhaps more perfectly than any other time in the history of the country, it's not happening in a lot of places some of the time. In other words, the libraries could be filled with the accounts of where the Sixth Amendment was not honored. As a matter of fact, it goes beyond not being honored. It goes to horrific experiences of miscarriage of justice. And what we're doing is examining, among other things, the relationship of the prosecutors and the defense attorneys and the jury, the judiciary, the courts itself, in how we make sure that the Sixth Amendment to the Constitution is honored. And so, among the 9 panelists, I'm proud to say we have a Supreme Court jurist from a state Supreme Court jurist. The 9 others were occupied or couldn't make it today. So we were happy to receive a jurist that's not only experienced from the courts, but he is a lawyer who knows what goes on inside a courtroom from the lawyer's perspective. He's had experience on both sides of a case. And so we gather here to decide how we can best examine the problems that are confronting the criminal justice system, particularly with this point of what do we do with a person that cannot afford counsel. I close on this note. It is very critical for us to, in this conversation today, that we examine the onerous cost of affording able counsel. So there are 2 sides to this question, Chairman Scott. One is being able to get an adequate counsel when you can't afford one. The other is trying to be able to afford an adequate counsel when you know you should have one, and that the cost itself can be prohibitive. Court proceedings have bankrupted families. Court proceedings have caused mortgage foreclosures. Court proceedings have ruined lives. Court proceedings have created misdirected justice that for some can never be repaired. And so I am proud of the chairman and the lawyers and staff of this committee, and I'm also deeply honored that